What if the scariest character in your next horror movie wasn't a masked killer or a supernatural force, but your own four-legged best friend? That's exactly what director Ben Leonberg achieved with Good Boy, a daring and inventive film that flips genre conventions on their head by placing a dog at the center of a chilling supernatural tale. But here's where it gets controversial. How do you make a pet the star of a horror story without exploiting its innocence or your audience's trust? And this is the part most people miss. The answer lies in the intersection of creativity, patience, and a deep understanding of animal behavior. Good Boy isn't just a fresh take on cabin-in-the-woods tropes. It's a masterclass in perspective-driven storytelling. From the dog Indy's point of view, the film merges the raw, unfiltered confusion of a loyal pet with the eerie tension of a haunting. Think of it as The Conjuring meets EO, the Oscar-winning film about a donkey's journey. Leonberg's genius lies in making the audience experience dread through Indy's eyes. His whimpers become whispers of terror. His curiosity morphs into unsettling suspicion. It's a technical and emotional gamble, but one that pays off in spades. When asked why he'd tackle such a taboo subject, filmmakers often avoid working with animals due to logistical nightmares. Leonberg admitted he had no intention of harming his dog. Instead, he wanted to subvert a classic horror trope, the doomed pet. Why always let the dog die in Act 2? What if instead the dog survived and witnessed the horror firsthand? This simple twist becomes the film's emotional core. Indy's heightened senses, his ability to hear, smell, and react to stimuli humans can't, turn him into both a protagonist and a narrator of the supernatural events unfolding around him. Now, here's the kicker. Indy isn't a trained show dog. He's just Ben's regular pup, a retriever with a knack for fetch and a talent for instinctive acting. Leonberg's secret? Time. He spent months training Indy not for obedience, but for performance. By building sets around the dog's natural behaviors and using creative editing techniques, he transformed mundane actions, like a confused glance or a sudden leap, into cinematic moments of suspense. For example, when Indy encounters a neon sign, a stimulus he's never seen before, his bewildered expression, paired with ominous music and a darkened corner, becomes a scene-stealing moment of horror. But let's get real. This wasn't easy. Dogs hate cameras. Indy was no exception. Early on, the camera would spook him, leading to delays and nose blur lens mishaps. Yet Leonberg turned this challenge into an advantage. Just like a tennis ball signals playtime for a dog, the camera became a cue for Indy to engage. Over time, he learned to associate the device with treats and praise, making the filming process less about coercion and more about collaboration. As Leonberg put it, he's the kind of dog who loves to have a job. His ideal life is fetching professionally. Once he realized the camera meant work, he got into it. The film's success hinged on another risky move, proving that a non-human lead could carry a horror narrative. To convince investors, Leonberg created short proof-of-concept clips, which earned Indy an acting award nomination. These snippets showcased the film's potential, turning skepticism into curiosity. Still, many questioned whether a dog could truly act in a horror film. Leonberg's response? Let the final product speak for itself. Technically, the film leans heavily on editing to create meaning. Leonberg explains a dog's confusion when paired with a dark corner and eerie sounds becomes grief in the edit. This isn't just clever filmmaking, it's a nod to Eisenstein's montage theory. By juxtaposing shots of Indy's blank stare with ominous shadows, the film manipulates the audience's mind to fill in the blanks. It's a reminder that horror isn't just about what you see, but how you're guided to interpret it. One of the film's most striking elements is the design of the Grim Reaper. Unlike the skeletal scythe-wielding figure humans imagine, Indy's version of death is a muck-covered organic monstrosity. Leonberg explains this choice by referencing stories of sick dogs seeking wet, muddy places to die. For a dog, death isn't a supernatural entity. It's a primal biological force. And when it comes to practical effects, there's no CGI here. Just mud, spatulas, and a dog who loved being hosed down. Spoiler, Rain makes every dog performance better. The sound design also deserves applause. To capture Indy's perspective, team prioritized audio cues that a dog would notice over what humans might find important. Imagine a scene where siblings argue in a car, but Indy hears a squirrel in the woods and tunes everything else out. This audio tunnel vision immerses the viewer in the dog's sensory world, making the horror feel intimate and personal. But here's the debate. Should animals ever be the stars of horror films? Critics might argue that putting a pet in dangerous situations, even metaphorically, crosses a line. Leonberg, however, insists that Indy's safety was paramount, and the film's emotional impact stems from his genuine relationship with the dog. Still, the question remains, is it ethical to make a pet the emotional anchor of a horror story? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this approach adds authenticity, or does it risk exploiting an animal's innocence? Ultimately, Good Boy is a testament to the power of unconventional storytelling. By challenging norms and trusting his instincts and his dogs, Leonberg created a film that's as thought-provoking as it is terrifying. And for those who've ever wondered what it would be like to live inside their dog's mind during a horror movie, well, this is your answer.